Hey y'all, it's March the 3rd, 2016, and like Steve Jessup would say, I got shit to do, alright? I got things that I gotta do, alright? So I was taking a look at all the news articles and stuff, and they're just coming from every which way, alright? They were coming from all sort of places, alright? I just don't got time to dive into all of them, so many, alright? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a quick rundown, you know what I'm saying, like we like to do. All right, I'm on the drugreport.com right now. We're going to cover basically all these stories, and if I get time, I'm going to dive into some of them later. All right, but let's get started. Let's get started. It's the tribulation. All right, we're going to go from top to bottom. Flashback: Romney praises Trump. Apparently, Romney in the past has praised Trump. Turns out, Mitt Romney is a flip flopper. I had no clue about that. All right, and he said, "I'll support the Republican nominee." Guess who that is? Trump. You're not doing that. You're a dang liar. All right. After losses, Rubio skips the jokes. All right. He's not joking anymore after he lost and lost and lost and lost. And he's popping pills. Apparently, the pills are not helping him with his sense of humor. Hannity downloads on Marco. Apparently, Hannity laid the smackdown on a pill popper named Marco Rubio. I don't know too much about that. Two male employees sue Hooters for sexual harassment. We already covered that, right? That's ridiculous, right? All right. FBI flight attendant sets plane bathroom on fire during flight. And I actually did read a little bit into this. All right. Apparently, this flight attendant set fire to a little bathroom up in the airplane with a green big lighter, and then he went outside of the bathroom and he waited for a few minutes and waited for people to notice that there was a fire, and then he jumped in and he splashed out the fire with paper towels. All right, let's just get a couple things out of the way. He was popping pills, kind of like that Marco Rubio. That I can guarantee. All right. Secondly, what this means is the TSA is doing a wonderful, wonderful job, but what they need to do is step it up. They need to search all the flight attendants' anuses, and everybody who flies the plane, they need to search their anuses. Everybody who's in the plane, your anuses need to be searched thoroughly, all right, to make sure that nothing bad happens on planes. All right. Teen possessed by the devil suffers violent convulsions in church. You're gonna have to please forgive me if I don't believe one word of that. All right. Russian faces a year in jail for denying God on social media. Again, forgive me if I don't believe one word of that. This one I like. Accused fake teen doctor arrested again. Apparently, there's a Doogie Howser running around, and he keeps running around. Catch me if you can, Leonardo. You got some competition. All right, but here's the thing about it, man. Just for example, I'm throwing out here. I know a lady right now who's literally getting murdered by doctors, and the fact that she can't listen to anything but doctors who want nothing more than to murder her, or at least get her out of their office because they do not care at all if she lives or dies. And so, being that is the situation, maybe that's why a teenager is running around and thinking like he's a doctor and getting away with it. Y'all listening to doctors, good luck with that. Right. Secretary of Defense tries priming silicon while FBI fights. I don't know what in the world that even means. I'm guessing it has something to do with that Apple stuff, right? If you didn't already know about Apple and FBI and their little fake tug of war that's going on right now, John McAfee can tell you all about how it's preposterous. And it's called power grabs. Google's Schmidt, apparently there's a guy named Schmidt from Google, to head the new Pentagon Innovation Board. Yeah, that's right. All right. The Pentagon should be run by Google, should it not? Doesn't that sound like a brilliant idea? I think so. Cops find a drive-through sex lands couple behind bars. There was a drive-through sex company, or a couple of people were they had an establishment, and there was sex taking place at the drive-through. All right, and I got to read more into that. But you know what? My first question is, I wonder if it's as immediately satisfying as a Chick-fil-A drive-through. I wonder if it can even compete. Uh, Justice Department grants immunity to staffer who set up Clinton email server. All right, and also FBI may question Hillary. Now, there's a tug of war taking place and stuff. All right, about these emails, and I can assure you that what's on the emails is quite sinister. All right, nothing is going to take place about it. Not anything. For the whole entire year, you're going to hear people bullshitting about it. Battle of Sexes looms for the presidency. Oh my God. All right. What's taking place is a battle between good and evil, and that's taking place all over the world. If you're concerned about what the sex of the next president is, you're a straight up and down retard. Balls, apparently a place named Balls, says this battle is ugly and contentious. All right. Your name is ugly and contentious. All right. You might want to fix it. New York Times says Clinton has turnout trouble. All right. New York Times, guess what? You're not news. I could have told you this many years ago. People do not want to see her ugly demon face. All right, they just don't. She can't count on Sanders supporters in November, says this headline. Well, yeah. See, the thing is about Sanders supporters is that they're gullible, all right? But however, they're not gullible enough to want to see Hillary's ugly demon face. All right. So apparently that's what's happening. Congresswoman warned of unpleasant life for backing Bernie. All right, I don't know what Congresswoman this is, but yes, it turns out socialism can be described as unpleasant. All right, that's news. Man accused of waterboarding girlfriend to determine whether or not she was unfaithful. Let me tell you something. That is not going to work. Secondly, no, he did not. All right, this man, I didn't even read it yet, but this man did not waterboard his girlfriend to determine whether or not she was cheating. He waterboarded his girlfriend because he's a psycho asshole. All right, can anybody say 50 Shades of Grey? I can. Let's see. Hollywood Frenzy. Hashtag Oscars so white. Spurs diversity casting boom. I couldn't care less about this if I took a class on how to care. Not at all. All right. Director mandates women, people of color. People of color. I mean, what color is this? Is this no color? Anyways, people of color interviewed in proportion to population. So let's everybody concentrate on the skin color of people and whether or not they got dicks or not, or whether or not, even if they had dicks or not, whether or not in their mind they think that they have dicks or not. We need to concentrate on only these things, not whether they can act good or anything like that, because that would be racist. Less than half of Rio Olympics tickets sold so far. All right, and I would assume this is like Rio de Janeiro if I had to assume. It's taking place in Brazil, if I had to guess. All right. It turns out people are caring less and less about the Olympics as the world crumbles around everybody. All right. There's a refugee team that is fixing to compete, and I promise you, they are going to get absolutely clobbered by whoever they compete against. There's this one headline that says, girls, and then it says, Dunham apologizes for falsely accusing a magazine of photoshopping cover photo of her. I don't know who this is. I can assume that she's a fat lady. Um, None of that is news. LA won't host raves. Los Angeles, I would assume, won't host raves after suspected drug overdoses. I don't, I don't have a news organization, but here's what I can tell you since I was a little person. Drugs are done at raves all the time. Sometimes you're gonna overdose from them. Anyways, family finds wrong body and casket at the viewing. All right, that doesn't sound very pleasant at all. Hey, here's an idea. Maybe if we microchip everybody, maybe this won't happen again, huh? All right, let's do that. Cops say that students were suspected of burning down a principal's home. And I haven't read that. I might go ahead and read that. I'm going to assume that either the students or the principal was fucking up. Chances are they were both fucking up. Chances are drugs were involved. Strange radio bursts come from space in clusters. And I know a lot of people are going to be interested by that, but let me assure you that is the least of our worries. A beetle invasion of, quote, biblical proportions hits Argentinian beaches. I wonder what that looks like. Right? You got beetles crawling all over you if you're living in Argentina for some reason. Let's go to right here. We're finishing up. The Wire says that Trump dominates with huge turnouts and a wide base of support. Now, no matter what you think about Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, whether you trust him or not, it's hardly news to you that thousands and thousands and thousands of people are pouring in to see him. Right? That's not even news. Somehow it's making headlines still. Murdoch says Republicans would be mad not to unify. Might I suggest to Murdoch, you're a straight up and down retard if you're a Republican and that's what you refer to yourself as. Paul Ryan says everything is fair game until nominees selected. Everything, according to Paul Ryan. All right, raping and pillaging, all of that goes no holds bar, according to Paul Ryan, who is a dick face. All right. Debate tonight. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a debate tonight. All right, I fell asleep during the last debate, so we're gonna see how this one goes. It was absolutely embarrassing and horrifying. The last debate. So let's see this new debate. And as you might know, Ben Carson, he's not even gonna show up. He already said, you know what? I'm tired of this. And I like Ben Carson, to be honest. I know he one time tried to hit his mama in the head with a hammer, but I kind of like him. He's funny, and I'm gonna miss him. Just 50 for public. Oh shoot, I skipped a part. All right, the debate tonight that takes place tonight. Tickets have been given to elected officials. Right, so you got to be a very special somebody in order to be there for some reason. Now, only 50 were given to the public. Right, that sounds pretty dang retarded. Right, that's a state that America's in right now. Anyways, a man in a wheelchair. I found this one particularly interesting. I'm definitely gonna dive into this one. A man in a wheelchair kills a man on a treadmill in the gym. It's like, dude, did he do that on accident? Like, how did he do that? Was he jealous of that man? What in the world? I don't even know where to begin. But check this out, though. Here's a story that I have not read yet, but I'm going to read later. A 91-year-old was tackled and put in a chokehold during a robbery. All right? Might I suggest that more than likely that was not necessary in order to rob this man, right? At all. But here's something else, and I'm going to take a quick tip from Colin Flaherty. I have not read this article. You can call me whatever you want. Have not read it at all. Have not seen any pictures. I just seen this headline. How much money do you want to bet that the robber was black? Huh? How much money? I'll bet all my money. I'll bet every cent that I got. Anyways, home flipping exceeds peak in some hot housing markets. Well, that's good for them. I'm glad for them for that. UK internet trolls face criminal charges for fake online profiles. First of all, if you're an internet troll, if that's your calling in life, you're living an absurd life, and it's a waste of everybody's time, including yours. So that's punishment enough, I feel. Um, Scientists develop brain scan to diagnose Alzheimer's. That's good. That's great. Right. I wonder if they can develop a scan that will show just how much people like poisoning themselves and they like loving lies, so that that will enable them to continue to poison themselves further until they get Alzheimer's or diabetes or cancer or any number of things. I wonder if they can create a scan for that. I'm going to look out for that. All right. Gun buying boom continues. Guess what? Until the end of the world, gun buying is going to continue to boom. People love guns for the reason that they love to protect themselves from horrific and nightmarish pain. All right, so that's why they begin guns. And the thing is, to think about this for a second, Obama completely understands that every time he says the word guns, the gun sales skyrocket. He has to know this. All right, so that's an interesting thing to think about. Credit Suisse, whatever that means, warns fresh recession will cause eurozone to collapse. All right, the eurozone is absolutely going to collapse sooner than later. All right, so you might want to read about that if you got time. A gang burned 7 people to death over witchcraft. Now, I read about this actually yesterday, and it took place in some sort of African country, and where a gang caught a whole bunch of people who were trying to perform what they call witchcraft, and they had all these bones and body parts from albino Africans. All right, and I've heard about this a little bit before, in which people have been like basically kidnapping and like chopping up albino Africans, other Africans, right? And they've been like doing, I guess, witchcraft with them and stuff. A lot of people think, for whatever reason, that these albino Africans inside their body parts is like a cure for AIDS, and I swear, and AIDS is obviously running rampant in Africa, so they've been kidnapping the albinos, and other gangs of people saw them kidnapping the albinos and saw them with albino body parts, so they took them, and basically I think they caught them and set those fools on fire. And right there's a picture that I saw in an article. The picture almost seems to have nothing to do with, I mean, like what took place, but I thought it was funny that dude right there smoking a doobie. I thought it was pretty funny. Anyways, migrants in Greece to be handed envelopes of cash. Meanwhile, people who live in Greece, the residents, a lot of them are dying of starvation. So a lot of good that guy's going to do. But think happiness. Finally, this is the last one. Happiness can break your heart. Can happiness break your heart? Maybe, maybe. So be afraid of being happy because it might go ahead and break your heart. This is March the 3rd, 2016.